Hello, everyone, and welcome to Propaganda, presented by Ethics. It's the Hope I Can't Stand. It's me, it's Taff, it's all ending, and we are going to go through some of the best things we've seen on social media and elsewhere over the weekend. Because Sunderland, if you didn't know, beat the world champions 2-1 at Stamford Bridge. Which is
what does that make us? What does that make us?
World beaters, maybe.
I like that.
Yeah. Also, because I keep forgetting to do this, I will very, very sneakily just Christmas present. This is I'll plug that now because I forgot it in the last video. Now I don't want to do it too much, but yeah, we'll throw it in there. So where to start? We've got so much to go through here, and I think maybe Jason McAteer might be the place to start.
Okay.
Former Sunderland player. You'd think that Jason McAteer was pro-Sunderland, would be a guess. However, he's been given his thoughts to the media, and I've got a nice quote here. Philip West from Rogue Report shared this, and I've just copied his tweet. But this is a McAteer quote, and he said they shouldn't be in the Premier League. I feel sorry for Coventry and Frank. Sunderland did nick it. He also went on to talk about how good Sunderland have been this season. But what do we make of that, Taff? What do we make of this quote?
Well, I'm pretty sure most people who watch this saw the videos I did on the semi-finals, and it just patently isn't true. Unfortunately, this is a footballer who should know better because he's played the game. But unfortunately, there's a big difference between having lots of possession and actually doing things with it. If this weekend showed you the difference very clearly, then so did those semi-finals. They don't. I think they have one shot in the last hour of one of the finals. But I did a very thorough breakdown on both these because we were not undeserving to win those games at all. Frank Lampard plays very fast attacking football. He asks an awful lot of his wingbacks in particular, and it isn't a surprise the way those games went. Sure, we have to be quite secure defensively, but we score those goals in both legs late on when they have very tired players. And I think that's entirely deliberate and not unexpected. And the fact that we played the same in the second one and the first one shows you the confidence about which we can do that. They didn't deserve to be there. They didn't have enough shots on target. They didn't look in either of those two games towards the end of the game like the side most likely to break the deadlock. It simply isn't true. And I think you've been beguiled by fancy, exciting, pacey play. And if you think back to ourselves, we've experienced that. How many times did we watch Mowbray's team? And God love him, and I do love him. And he was great at the football we played. But loads of times we watch tremendously exciting football with a difficulty of getting an end product. Some problem that we don't have this day. And I think it's disappointing, really, that a footballer of international standard can't tell the difference between that. Because it isn't true.
Yeah,
you've seen it with our own team. Yeah,
I just think it's an utter nonsense peddled by surely people who just like Frank Lampard that were constant. I mean, this is months later, and Coventry are top of the championship. They're like flying. Like, why are they still? I mean, I know they're not worried about it. This is Jason McAteer, who, as far as I understand, has got no connection with Coventry City. But yeah, I just think it's such lazy narrative, and I cannot believe that fans. I can forgive a Coventry fan for thinking, well, we had loads of the ball, so we should have won the game. But a professional shouldn't be thinking that. So I think if we're going to grade this, and also in the comments, please let us know what you think about this, because we want to know kind of if you think these things are propaganda. And we're giving them a score out of 10 for propaganda. So I want to know what you think about individual things. But I think this Jason McAteer comment is like 9.5 propaganda.
I'm giving it a 10 because it isn't true. I've pointed it out very clearly multiple times. So is everybody else. But I'm giving it a 10 because he's an ex-professional footballer. He should know better between exciting running around and actually delivering, a style that might win. We've seen it with Mowbray multiple times. I know what it looks like. So should he, frankly. Frankly, Lampard. Anyway,
good way
it's
to
a 10 for me.
Yeah, I've only given it a 9.5 because I think he must be mates with Frank Lampard.
Well, that makes it worse.
Yeah, maybe it does.
Turn it up to 11 for sucking up to him.
Yeah. You know what? Definitely 9.5, 10. Anyway, right. Where do you want to go next? We've got loads of different things to talk about here.
Let's talk about Richard Keys. Richard Keys is a Coventry fan.
Let's throw him up here. There we go. So we've also included a bit from Danny Collins here, our good friend. But Richard Keys says, so Sunderland's goal at Chelsea allowed despite Geertruida being in the line of sight of the keeper, but Everton's is disallowed. Why? Vicario had no chance of getting that. It's baffling. Danny Collins, who is rebuffing here the propaganda, says, Richard, the fact that you've worked in football for about 40 years and can't tell the difference between the two incidents is baffling. Not sure Sanchez had any chance of getting to Talby's shot either. Yeah, I mean, when I watch this go live and like you see it go in and I'm celebrating and then I'm watching the replay and I am seeing that Geertruida is slightly offside and I'm like, oh no. But I don't think he affects anything involving the goal because if you watch the behind the goal camera, you can see that this just isn't the case. It doesn't affect the keeper's line of sight. But yeah, what do you make of this?
Well, why don't we have a look at what Richard Keys is talking about, shall we?
Yeah,
because
go on,
this is what Richard Keys is talking about. 1 second. He's talking about this here, which is the goal that he says, how is this disallowed? Which is a staggering question until you put on your glasses. Look at that. There's a couple of Everton players beating up the Tottenham goalkeeper. It might have something to do with that. No, it isn't actually. It even tells you here they're checking offside, which they are. But even if it's not offside and it comes off a Chelsea player or whatever, then they're clearly impeding the goalkeeper. And okay, how is that disallowed? Well, you may be struggling to understand that, but it looks fairly straightforward for me. But why don't we compare it to the Sunderland goal that he thinks is just the same? Because it isn't. So I think this is the right image here. Here we are. This is when Talby is striking the ball. So this is Talby striking the ball. And there is no problem here with the goalkeeper being able to say he's not unsighted by Traore at all. The goalkeeper has a very obvious view of the ball. You can see it right here. I can see you there. In fact, he's even stood still looking at him. It's not like he's bending around trying to see past anybody. He's looking right at him. And to make it even worse, Mr. Richard Keys, to make it even worse, it's already labelled for you there, but you just have to look at that. Is it 4? We go back to that one? Yeah, we just go back to that. Just have a look at where. I can't remember who this is now. Is this?
I think it's Reece James, is it? No. Is it?
I'll tell you. I'll do.
Adebayo, maybe. Tosin.
Well, no, Tosin I think is elsewhere. I'll tell you now who it is. Who's completely lost the plot there. Maybe I can't.
Shalaba's the one whose PlayStation controller disconnected and he just stood still the whole time.
Yeah, and Brobby's not even holding him. It would be easy for Brobby to sort of grab the shirt and hold on to that, but he doesn't. And I saw somebody post another clip. It is Reece James. Yeah, it turns out he's got 24 in his back. It is Reece James. It doesn't matter. It's not in between Talby and Sanchez. There's nobody in between them. But even if there were somebody in between Talby and Sanchez, it's Reece James who's blocking the shot. Traore's got nothing to do with it. Sorry, not Traore. Geertruida's got nothing to do with it. How this could be compared to this, to the other one, the previous one, yeah, I just don't know. So it's bizarre.
Move that one. There we
are. Yeah, I did it. How you compare that to that and say they're both the same? One should be disallowed and the other isn't. So daft as a brush. I don't know what he's doing. And then Keith Hackett joined in and said, "Yes, you're quite right, Richard. We're both senile."
I can't dig into Keith Hackett because technically I work with him. But yeah, I was. I did look at that. And I was I don't know, Keith. I don't know if I agree with you. It is what it is. I think he's a Sheffield United fan though, so maybe he's got a little bit of
maybe. And Richard Keys is a Coventry fan, isn't he? Or he used to be.
Yeah, apparently like the hairiest man as well, isn't he? Isn't he somebody that like is famous for being really hairy and has to shave like a million times a day?
I've heard that. Yeah, a long
Yeah,
time
maybe it's
ago.
fake. Maybe this is just fake news, like
I
a
don't know.
maybe
Propaganda.
propaganda about Richard Keys, the TV presenter,
Yeah.
disgraced TV presenter.
Look,
Yeah,
it's not going to get a very high score from me. I think it's daft, but also he doesn't have much of a presence. I mean, you have to wonder how often do people do things like this because they know it will be controversial. I don't know. What do I give it? It doesn't have much of an impact. I think it's patently silly rather than attempting to persuade. I don't know. 6.
yeah, because fundamentally, I mean, it's an opinion. It's not a correct opinion. But I could see an argument if I was a Chelsea fan why you'd say that maybe Sunderland's goal was offside. I mean, I've seen goals disallowed for as stupid reasons as that. So I mean, if that's, but I mean, it's not the same as the Vicario one. So I don't know. I think a 6 is probably about fair for this one. Right? Should we watch the porn stars video?
Well, I did not know that this young lady was a performer of any kind. You told me that, and I was quite surprised. So I don't know how you know.
I don't, because I just do know she's quite a famous. How many followers has she got? She's got 53,000 followers. I mean, I think she's a well-known Chelsea fan. I don't know. Let's just not dive into why I know.
You learn something new every day.
Right. Anyway, so I'm going to share my screen here. This is fine. This is PG-13. We should be okay. So I'm going to share my Twitter screen here, which is here. So this is Astrid Wett, who is a Chelsea fan, and has went viral on multiple occasions for reasons that we won't go into. But she did a video before the game. So I must stress this is 1:10 on Saturday. She's obviously on the way to the match, preparing for Chelsea to beat Sunderland. And this is the video she came up with. So there we are. We'll watch this. And I need to... Can we not see my screen? Because I've not put it on here. That's why. There we are. There's Astrid. Okay, let's play.
Sunderland fans, will you calm yourselves? You've had one good game and now you're walking around like you've conquered Europe. You beat West Ham, not Real Madrid. Let's behave. You've got Chelsea today, and I cannot wait because when Caicedo and Astrid Wett get going, it's curtains for you lot. I'm calling it now. Chelsea 3, Sunderland 0. Now cue the comments saying we've got Dan Neil. Give it 3 months and he'll be on the first train south the minute a proper club calls. Sunderland fans.
So there we go. Right, so I think there's a lot of dive into here. Yeah. So the West Ham thing, I think maybe she's just looked into something to beat West Ham. The Dan Neil comment was interesting. Suggests somebody who hasn't obviously watched a lot of Sunderland this season.
I'll give you some credit though. I'll give you some credit. Most people who comment on us never watched us play last season. She must at least have had some attention last season to know that Dan Neil, because most people have no idea last season.
Yeah, maybe, but yeah, I think that this is one of them. We had a bit of rage bait last week, didn't we? And I feel like this is what this is. She, I imagine, must make videos like this before every game, where she basically says the opposition has no chance and Chelsea will win, so that she can annoy people. I mean, this has got 1.8 million views. This video.
I bet it wouldn't have that many views if they did win, because it would just be boring and predictable. Perhaps I don't know. Yeah. But I mean, I was quite amused by you've had one good game. I didn't know what she was going to say, and then she picked out West Ham. Is that our one good game? Really?
I mean, if you were to, before the Chelsea game, if you were to pick out a standout Sunderland game, it would probably be the Forest away game.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah, I think so. We were under pressure against the side with some talent there, probably the most talented side that we'd played up to that point. I would have picked that game. Yeah. So no.
After watching Chelsea at the weekend, who conceded 2 goals against us, maybe that Forest game is still our most impressive win.
Well, maybe, Chelsea, young side, beneath us in the league. They're not much of a prospect, are they?
No. I mean, yeah, they might be the world champions and have spent billions on their squad, but fundamentally, we've got no
world champions of Meccano.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Yeah. So, I mean, in terms of a propaganda rating for this one, I don't actually think the propaganda for this is like massively high because she's basically doing a pre-game prediction, isn't she? She's that's essentially what she's doing it in an angry, rage baity way, in an insulting way. But she is. It's not like she's done this after the game. You know what I mean? It's not like she's said, "Oh, Sunderland didn't deserve anything." She might have said this afterwards, to be fair. But yeah, I'm going to give this a 5 out of 10. I just think it's more uninformed than what it is propaganda.
There is a quite obvious score to give her. I'd give her a 4, I think. But that's not the obvious score. But I'd give her a 4. Look, she had some knowledge of Sunderland because she understood that Dan Neil was some player of importance to us last year. And she picked out a game that we did play well in. So it's not, most people expected Chelsea to win. Is it that bad? No, it's more a case of she's got it wrong. It is a bit baity. But yeah, no, just a 4. I'd give her 4.
Okay, so I think I was 5, you're 4. Right. Yeah. Let's stick on the theme of salty Chelsea-ness. And let's look here at a tweet from Graham Falk, or What the Falk podcast. So this is Chelsea's match report, which I'll read out to you. Chelsea's run of 4 consecutive wins came to an end against the Sunderland side, determined to stifle our attack on a frustrating afternoon at Stamford Bridge. Next slide. Chelsea were on top and dominant for much of this game, but Sunderland's stubborn habit of defending with all 11 players within 30 yards of their own goal repeatedly crowded us out of the box before we could pull the trigger or create space for a clear chance. And there's some good memes in there as well. The man from Come Dine With Me, who's one of my personal favourites. But yeah, what do we make of Chelsea's official page sharing this? Because
it's not their only piece of it's not their only list. I've got another piece here. I don't know if we have to delete something to get it in or not. Where is it? No, here it is. This is from the Chelsea website, and this is part of their match report from the website. And I would like you to take a look at the third paragraph here. A scrappy long throw took a couple of lucky ricochets in our box, allowing Wilson Isidore to equalise. And that's when the McAteer's began to shut up shop, despite the fact we had more shots after that. But I have to say, I think a scrappy long throw. I think this is a scrappy report written by a 12-year-old. Pulling the trigger.
This is Todd Bowley rewriting the narrative, I think. I think he's absolutely fizzing after the game, and he's went, do you know what? We're not having this. We have to drop some salt in here and let the world know that Sunderland are a disgusting football club who had no attacking intent despite the fact they scored 2 goals. No
attacking intent. We have a player on our pass networks further forward than any of theirs. No, these are official club lines as well, and they look like they're written by a child. We didn't give them. We shut up shop so they couldn't pull the trigger. I mean, what is this? Fortnite review or something?
What I don't get is why big clubs expect you to go there and play the way that helps them win. You see, Jurgen Klopp used to be awful for this at Liverpool, where he'd be like, I can't believe these teams have come here and not played an open game so we could beat them 6-0. And instead, we've drawn 1-1 because they have played in a way which is just not befitting us and the style that we have, and it's not fair at all.
Yeah, we are the champions. We should like you to try and then lie down. This is going to get a high score from me. I haven't decided yet, but because these are official club lines.
Yeah,
they're written like some fuming.
This is propaganda. This is literally propaganda because they are telling their fan base it's not as bad as you think.
Yeah, and there was one. I'm surprised I didn't include it. There's one fella, the Just Chelsea Twitter account. Did you see that?
Is this the guy who went to his first ever Chelsea game?
The first ever Chelsea game in 20 years. And he tweeted, I've got an account. I've got like millions of followers across all sorts of platforms. I'm going to my first ever Chelsea game in 20 years.
And then he also...
Hope you enjoyed it, Just Chelsea. Hope you enjoyed it.
He also put at the end of the game, I don't know if you saw, that he was really upset that the Sunderland fans were so much louder than the Chelsea fans. Which I thought was poetic. To be fair, we haven't actually included this, but there was a lot of praise for our fans at the weekend. Like tons of mainstream London reporters who obviously haven't really watched Sunderland for years, who were like, "Oh wow, Sunderland fans are good."
Because I had to move. I had to move from our away end up to do that Sky thing afterwards. So I had to move, and I ended up one of the people I was sat next to was a Chelsea fan, and I was asking him what it's like, because when we watched the Man United game, the first 4 rows around the entire ground were tourists with cameras filming everything. And he said, unfortunately, it's pretty much the same here. He said there'll be empty seats here today because, you know, the tourists don't sell the tickets. And the season tickets, he said lots of season tickets were owned and then sold to these companies who do astronomical packages for people to come from Asia and the Middle East to watch a Premier League game. Like Just Chelsea, I hope you enjoyed your first game ever in 20 years. You know, he tweeted 40 times during the game. I wonder if he
wasn't watching it. I was going to say, yeah, also, though, fair play to Stamford Bridge for having phone signal, because Sunderland's phones, I mean, they've put in 5G at the Stadium Light and it does not work. There is no.
What's your network? It's not O2, is it?
Mobile, yeah, not with O2.
Yeah.
Apparently, though,
it's been switched on.
The O2 mast apparently means they've switched off the other mast, which means the signal's worse for anyone else who isn't on O2.
Well, I think I was trying to read something about it. It was all very complicated. So the government have spent lots of money funding about 22 sites across the country for open 5G networks at big places that will have concerts or venues. And we bid successfully for one at Sunderland, so we'll be the first club to have it, which means that every phone, no matter your network, can connect to this open network, which is really good at identifying phones in crowded environments. And then you'll connect from that to your outside network. But they're testing it at the minute, and it's only open for O2 users as part of the test, because, you know, let's have a small bunch of people to test it with to identify you individually in the stadium. And I was there last week when I met you. I was there for the Wolves game. I had no trouble accessing the internet. I'm on O2. I had no trouble accessing the internet from the middle of the South Stand. I tweeted 47 times during the game. I didn't tweet one.
Yeah, I'd never ever tweet you in a game. Right. Let's continue on with the Chelsea theme. So we got this guy here. We had a good laugh about this on Saturday evening, but let's rewatch. So this is a watch along. Also, as an FYI, watch alongs are a big no-no for me. I don't know why people watch a watch along. I don't get it.
I don't know. It depends where you are. But this guy sounds like he's from London. And I then have to wonder, well, why is he not at the game? I mean,
that's because all the tourists have the tickets.
That's exactly, yeah. Maybe it's not his fault at all.
Yeah.
I can understand some people, you know, who don't live in Liverpool or Sunderland. They've had to move elsewhere for jobs, but I'm not sure many people move out of London to go and work somewhere else. You know, still in this country.
London is such a big place that if he lives in like East London, it could take him about 4 hours to get there. So.
Possible. Yeah, I still think it's lame.
Let's watch. Anyway, so this is the final moment leading up to a special moment for A Team.
God, go on, I dare you.
I fucking dare you. I fucking dare you! I fucking dare you! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! I dare you! I fucking dare you! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god!
So the first thing I notice is why I dare you.
Well, I think he couldn't finish his sentence. He was saying, I think he was saying, oh yeah, I dare you to have a shot. And then we did something with it. He's like, I cannot finish my sentence. I cannot finish my sentence.
I dare you. I dare you. I dare you. I mean, to be fair to that guy, like he's had a viral weekend, hasn't he? So from his perspective, it's probably been a good showing. But do you think, like, you know, I'm as passionate a Sunderland fan, and you will be. My reaction when Sunderland concede a goal is more this. Oh no, I can't believe it. Oh, I'm not running around the room shouting, I dare you, I dare you, I dare you. But my reaction's muted. That's how I react when Sunderland concede. I'm not kicking and screaming. To me, it's like acting. I think these people who do this, it's very fake.
I think it is, but I don't really know. I remember that lots of us got very annoyed when we were absolutely terrible, the teams like Cheltenham Town or Shrewsbury, something like that. And we went there, I guess, with the kind of attitude that Chelsea might have had about us, saying, well, we should be winning this. And then when we played terribly and they don't win or something like that, I remember there were some very angry people in crowds in those days. So I don't know. It isn't how I behave. I do think part of it's an act, but I like it.
It's good for us.
Yeah. It's hilarious.
Funny.
I reckon he probably likes it too.
Yeah, I mean, he's probably looking at it. I mean, what I'm wondering is there anyone else in the house? Like, is his mom downstairs making his tea? Chelsea obviously conceded. He's on the I dare use again.
He has a very pretty room with his nice coloured lights and everything, doesn't he?
Yeah, do you know what? That room is actually a really good room for streaming, isn't it? Like, apart from the 2 doors, but like it does look quite good. The blue, I do quite like it. So yeah, I like your streaming. Very empty room though.
Well, it's just a bit too prepared for me. So I'm like, yeah. You could spend some money on going to the game.
That's the thing that's riled you, Ross. The fact that he's a Chelsea fan is at the game.
Well, look, lots of people don't go to the game for time. I don't get to go to every game all the time, but I do. I mean, he sounds like he lives in London, and he's got a very pretty room. Maybe him and Just Chelsea can go in another 20 years.
Maybe he used his ticket for the game. Maybe he's like, Just Chelsea, I'm going to give you the ticket. There we go. Maybe. So anyway, propaganda scale on that one. And that's not even propaganda. This is funny. I mean, so fundamentally, it's a 0 propaganda score, isn't it?
Yeah. He's just, he doesn't get a score for that. It's just funny to watch. It's funny to watch him blow up. Yeah.
So we've got, let's have a look. What else we got going on here? We've got a bit of limbs maybe to watch, or do you want to start with the tackle? What do you think first? We should end on limbs. Let's do the tackle first. So you've got cheering tackle. Cheering tackle is at the bottom.
Yeah.
So I'll let you control. Go on. Let's
have a look. This is near the end of the game. And you were talking before about lots of praise for the fans, and they were astonishingly loud. And because I was at the other end, I recorded some of it. And the biggest noise we made all day was the Mayenda song. That was absolutely huge. And I think Chelsea fans were taken aback because right from the start, we were pretty much the only people that you could hear. It was amazing. And near the end of the game, when we've stolen the win, this happens. Hearing every tackle.
Sanchez. Just delighted with the fact that it's still 1-1 between Newcastle and Fulham at the moment.
I love
just
that
those cheers.
That Trey Hume push as well just sums up Trey Hume.
Where he gets get rid of it. I'll knock the ball back. It's our goal kick, and I'm not going to let you push me around. But the cheering from the crowd were immense all day, absolutely immense. It was amazing.
Do you have to think that and I don't know if this is just bias, which is possibly, maybe it's my own propaganda, but I don't think there's another club in this country that appreciates like hard work, tackling. Like, do you know, you were talking about a style of play, and like you've got the West Ham way, you've got the Everton school of science, you've got teams that want to play in a certain way, and I think Sunderland's thing is not pretty football. It's not a particular way of passing. It's literally in the opposition face. We want to see tackles, and we want to see us basically getting the ball in the box and trying our best to be physical and win games. And our fan base laps up anything like this. These tackling, I mean, the crowd loves it. We as fans cheer tackles as much, and I think that's our thing, isn't it? We want to see that if we finish bottom of the league, but we can tell everyone's putting in 100% effort and there's tackles flying in and stuff, our fan base are far more forgiving than.
I love it. I love it. I don't think it's just necessarily about a style of football. I think it's about who we are. If you think about the history of Sunderland, and what's happened to the town and the city and the experience of people who live there and our parents and grandparents. It's been pretty tough. It's been pretty miserable. It's been abandoned. And, people have looked down on us for quite a while. And so when you go other places, that is what you're up against sometimes. And I think that in football, that translates as, here's a fancy club with loads of players who feel like they should beat us. And when we get into them and say, you're not better than us, I think that is the attitude that we love, because that's what we've had to live with for most of our lives. And that's the history of what Sunderland are and what we fight for. So I think it epitomizes who you are at Sunderland when people make tackles like that against teams like Chelsea. And I think that's why we love it, and it is great. I love it. I saw someone say the other day that high press is just the modern way of saying get into them, and I kind of agree. But I think that's why we roar it so much, because it's a demonstration on the pitch of the fight of what it means to be for Sunderland against wealth and privilege, frankly, and that's why we like it. I'm sure of it.
Yeah, I hate to be so cliched that it's the working class team plays a working class way, but I think that even Newcastle's a working class place, and I don't think they've got the same appreciation for this sort of stuff as what we do. And we are 40 miles apart. I mean, I live in the middle. I am literally, as horrible as it is to say, the bottom of my road. If I turn right, I can see St. James's Park from Gateshead because of where I live. And we are similar places, and Newcastle fans though have got a different perspective on it. And I think this is what's interesting about Sunderland, the fact that we are so in love with teams that want to be so aggressive and win duels and all that stuff. That's why Xhaka is such a Sunderland player. I've never seen a Sunderland player in my life that epitomized the club as much as what Granit Xhaka does. He's everything that I want in a footballer. The organization, he has the technical quality, but he's got that physicality and drive and determination that is just what Sunderland for me is. He is a player that epitomizes what this football club is.
Look at the love this week for Kevin Ball returning to the club. That's a more limited player, but absolutely committed. And I just think I don't quite agree with you. I think we do play good football, and there have been times in the past when we played some.
We do
that Reading game.
Do you think we value though the dirtier side and I say dirtier side, but we value as a fan base the other side of the game?
No, I don't think it's the dirty side or necessarily the aggressive side. I think I would use a different word, and you hear people like Reynaldo talk about this, and Wilson talk about this. It is about commitment. If you are committed and give everything you can in doing what you are doing, then we will love you, and that's it. That's all people ask for: commitment. And pulling out of tackles or being a bit soft, I think doesn't cut the jib with us, frankly. So it's not necessarily about being mean or dirty or anything like that. It is about being committed, because that's how you succeed in Sunderland.
Excellent. Okay, let's finish off with some limbs. We all love limbs.
Why not?
It's one of my favorite things in the world.
Oh, you've got it. Sorry, you put your one up.
We're having a bit of a mouse dance there on the computer. Right. This is one of the greatest things about fan vlogs. I would never do this myself. I don't ever envisage me. I've done it with work before because of Astrid's, but I would never envisage me going to a Sunderland game and filming a game and filming the opposition fans. But it is one of the greatest things. And on a Saturday evening, if we've won a game, I search for fan vlogs so I can see the away end, particularly if you've been in the away end as well. It is phenomenal to see. But here we are. This is filmed from the Chelsea end. This is the moment that Talby scores the goal. So we'll watch this. Should we full screen it?
There's a fellow YouTuber down there, Michael Bowers, commenting on it. He's seen it too.
Yeah.
This is great.
No, nothing better than
all the bouncing, isn't it? I remember being at
Yeah.
Everton when we won a penalty shootout midweek, and we're all limping up, jumping up and down at the old stadium in Goodison Park, and the entire stand is sort of wobbling like that.
Is this
It's a moment of-
the wooden stand at Goodison Park?
Yeah, the wooden. Yeah, it is.
That was
What? Let's have a look at this one. Sorry, I've gone ahead of you. That wooden stand at
oh,
Goodison.
sorry, go on.
Check
Well,
this
I was
fella
just
out.
going to say the wooden stand at Goodison is one of the worst things I've ever been in as a football fan. I actually had. Do you know when you go to football grounds and they take the lid off your bottle? Do you know if you buy a bottle of
Yep.
Coke?
Yep.
They put it in a like plastic cup. So you weren't even allowed
Uh-huh.
the bottle. And
Yep.
when I put the cup, I was on the right at the end of the stand. So I was in the first row where the stand started. And I put my cup on like a metal girder that was coming down, put it there, and then like 5 minutes later I went to have a drink and it was covered in rust float in it. I was like,
no.
I was like, this football stadium is horrific. And yeah, I've always hated Goodison Park, even though it was obviously a classic ground, but yeah.
One of the times I was there, some fella bought a pie, and the pie, sometimes it happens if they're sat too long, the base of it just becomes concrete. And he said, "This pie is inedible. It's concrete." And he threw it off the stand. About 8 minutes later, 4 policemen came to remove him because he accidentally hit a copper. He accidentally hit a copper with a pie, and they meant it. I loved it. Anyway, here's some more limbs. This is from the end of the club's access all areas, and I have to say that the club and the Echo, they do a really good job the last sort of 2 years of filming and photographing people who are at away games. They do a really good job of incorporating the crowd. All part of that being connected, I reckon. So
yeah,
go and have a look at the access all areas. It's great viewing.
Yeah, I always watch it when we win. I never watch it when we lose. I always watch it when we win. It's
have you ever tried to count the fist bumps coming down the stairs?
No, I have never done that. I don't think. No. I was once when I worked at the club, trusted to make that video, and I think it was Doncaster Rovers at home, and it was a Friday night game, and it was probably the worst one they ever did.
Well, they didn't ask you to do it again, so that's.
I was going to say, yeah, that was the only time I did it, and they never asked me again. So yeah. No, I do enjoy access all areas, but I think it's not propaganda, so we'll not get a rating. But I think that's us wrapped up for propaganda.
There were so many YouTubers we could have picked who had foul reactions and stuff.
Yeah, there was a lot of good social media content. But yeah, I think this is actually like of the 3 things we do, this is the one that I get the most enjoyment out of because it's just different, isn't it? Like it is picking out things. Yeah. It lets us talk about things in a slightly different way. So I enjoy it. I hope everyone else enjoys it as well. Yeah. So we will be back.
If you've seen propaganda that we have missed, send it to us. There will be an email in the description.
Yeah. Also, must add actually before we leave that the Irish guy did a video where I don't know if he apologized, but he did a video covering the video that we had on last week, where he said he was wrong about Sunderland, and apparently in his preview for
why
the Chelsea
Sunderland
game, he
said I think he did one called "Why Sunderland Are Making Me Look Stupid."
Yeah, so we must say that, and also apparently he said that if Sunderland beat Chelsea, he would lick a door. Apparently, somebody had sent that to us. So there we go.
No idea. Look out for that.
Yeah, a man looking a door. Anyway, thanks for watching, everyone. We'll be back later in the week for our Everton preview.